welcome or Angel. This is episode 3 of season 5. Excited as always to continue on to what's going to be happening next. Spike is back and a ghosty kind of thing, and I guess sticking around for the foreseeable future, which I'm very, very happy about. And we still have the new normal of working with and in charge of Wolfram and Hart, at least the LA division of them, which is very cool. Fred's going to get to work on trying to help Spike, I would assume. I can't imagine her saying no to that request. So yeah, I'm really enjoying where the season's gone, these first 2 episodes, and I'm excited to continue and see what they have planned next. Are we going to have, another run-of-the-mill action-adventure episode, or is there going to be some series arc stuff being built up? Is that going to be a thing this season? I don't know. But either way, I'm excited for more because this season's got off to a very good start. I will say, not feeling my best at the moment. It's been a week, it's been a few days. Anxiety, etc, etc. Hasn't been kind to me this week. So if I'm not my 100% best self, apologies, but it needs to be a balance of actually, getting these reactions done versus taking some time off. So, yes, apologies if things feel a bit off, but needs must, I suppose. So, yes, either way, I am very excited to continue. So, let's get into it.
We work with these people. Some of them I see more than I see you guys, at least lately anyway.
And you think you can trust him? Them.
The good doctor just revved up some island brain cells, set them in motion.
It's a legitimate concern. You gave them access.
I made a deal. We all did. Seems like I'm the only one who's willing to accept that. Everybody here got something out of this.
Did get a rather nice pen. Sterling. Has my name on it.
Mine doesn't.
Which is not the point at all.
No, the point is what? That I'm some spy for the senior partner?
Regardless, whatever binds him. How about you, pen? Sure.
He senses a disturbance in the force. Oh, hello. Oh. Oz? Oh, jeez. Why did that make me jump? Ooh. I think that costume's better. Sorry, buddy.
If you don't do something soon, one of these times, you may not come back.
I'm sure Angel's making it his priority to sort that out.
Blood was spilled. Vendettas were sworn as a whole.
My God. You're so full of crap.
Yeah.
I was going to say.
The truth is, I just don't want anyone else knowing about my condition. Undocumented in North America.
Oh, what have I seen you in?
How is it different from a standard?
Oh, that's going to bother me.
I bet, for one thing. I had a wee spat with a werewolf myself once. Fought for over an hour. Brutal. Vicious. Almost lost my...
Angel killed him with a pen. No, I just needed to... Aunt Nina?
Oh, Jesus.
Are you okay? I'm fine.
In her defense, I look at burgers like that too, and I'm not a werewolf, as far as I know.
You know that whoosh thing that you do when you're suddenly not there anymore?
I love that. License number 2ABM 543.
2-1.
Dress.
Keep drawing, keep drawing. Oh dear, well. Yeah. Nasty. Yes, I get it. Werewolves, yes.
Can I come in?
No. Aunt Nina, what big eyes you have.
Big dog. Come and get it.
Oh. I feel bad for the werewolf they killed now, really. Like, they could have just knocked him out and helped him. But no.
That thing attacked me.
Not exactly.
I was in the area. I heard the screams.
I'm afraid you're Beauty and the Beast this time.
Yeah, I remember you.
Get your girl who can do both.
My niece.
She's okay, and so is your sister.
No, you don't get it.
Nina, it's okay.
No, it's not.
You didn't?
I wanted to rip her throat out.
Families fight.
Don't tell me what you know. You didn't wake up and find out you're a monster. You don't know anything.
How do you know what he knows?
Letting the moon rise, and up goes the werewolf.
I can't stop what's gonna happen.
Of course the werewolf.
Getting hurt.
I hope that's what the episode's called.
You mean she could hurt herself?
Oh, he's in Star Trek, isn't he? I think that's where I know him.
She'll be racked by the guilties. What with the soul and all?
Didn't seem to bother you.
Oh, it's been nothing but a pain in my...
Finally, I'll take Nina by her house.
You're not a monster too, are you? No.
Hell no.
Standard issue science nerd.
She's an angel.
He was seeing someone, sort of, but she... Angel doesn't date much at all.
Let's not talk about that, shall we?
We try to be there for each other.
Like a family.
Yeah. A demon hunting, hello.
Like when we suspect Gunn of being a spy.
If you hadn't gotten there when you did,
Werewolf would have killed her. I know. Doesn't change what she's gonna have to go through.
well, that part sucks, no doubt, but you did everything you could.
You know what, Gunn? Don't need a pep talk right now. Just do your job.
Alright. Why are people being mean to Gunn?
Watch it there. Just passing by and got splashed with a heap of grouching. I don't want you to forget about the people covering your back.
I'm sorry. Who leaves the house without their purse or keys? What did you do, jump out the window? I thought I made
Yeah.
her heard me say I was leaving. Oh, that's great. Just tell me. What's going on?
Grab a seat.
Sorry about last night.
She'll be okay.
Well, that went well.
Yelling at... I'm really not good.
Oh.
Run!
What on earth is going on here?
We got the package.
Bring it around back. I just had the floors done.
Okay, let's go with that.
And she's loving him with that body, I just know it. And he's holding her in his arms late at night. You know, I wish that I had Jessie's girl. Oh, I want Jessie's girl.
Werewolf packs looking for new recruits. Then there's the paranormal sporting groups.
Spike, wait! Spike, wait! Damn. Like he can't hear me, just root right through the...
Were you looking for me?
Oh, it's the steer office? It's so annoying when he does that, because there's nothing you can do to
Yes!
stop him.
And he sang Jessie's Girl.
Oh, God. It's what they plan to do to her.
It's a menu.
Oh. Oh. I mean, it should be her eating you, not the other way around. Jeez.
Dinner will be served.
You weirdos.
Once a werewolf dies, it reverts to its human state.
You mean to eat werewolf, they gotta eat her alive?
Heaven,
Oh, that's horrendous.
you brought guests.
I can't go back there ever. This is better.
Nothing better about ending up
Being
with
eaten
dog.
alive? Oh, hello. Goodbye.
And I promised them a werewolf.
Oh, Jesus.
In a month from now, you'll have one.
No. No.
Oh, wow. That's dark.
Please. I'm sorry. No.
That's horrendous. Oh, I don't know how I feel about that, but okay. He was kind of bad.
I didn't think I was coming back.
But you did. Mostly.
Ray.
But I am going to find a way to bring you back. Really bring you back. I promise.
He'd fade into hell before he just tells Angel he needs his help.
I'll just be a part of who you are.
Next you're gonna tell me you actually like being a vampire.
Well, being nearly indestructible is cool.
Got him his own show. I mean... Can you imagine? Drives off, just takes a chunk out of them both.
I'm home. Hey,
Mood.
Sounds good.
Quite luxurious. That's not bad.
He's letting people around him, not letting the monster win.
Werewolf girl, think you got a shot?
She gave me a look. Really? A look.
Oh.
One mushroom chicken, 2 beef and broccolis, 1 cashew shrimp, maybe some lettuce wraps.
Lovely. Like, they're all like fighting demons, working for evil law firms and stuff, but they do have like a normal life as well, like Angel was talking to Nina about. Okay, another really good episode overall. I liked the simplicity of the plot and how focused it really was on mainly just the Nina stuff. That was the bulk of it, and the twists and turns with that one, as opposed to having like B or C plots going alongside it. You know, there was kind of stuff with like Fred and Spike and that ongoing thing as well, but I suppose we might as well just talk about that now. I feel like we didn't need it, only because I feel like they're just in exactly the same spot that we ended last week as well. Last episode. Because, you know, the last episode was Spike going to Fred saying, "Can you help me?" And we would have assumed, because we know Fred, that she'd say yes. And we found out in this episode that that was the case. She did agree to help him. And then the end of their story in this episode was, "Oh, I'll help you, Spike." And Spike was like, "Okay." And I just felt like, well, that's just what I assumed was going to happen at the end of last week. I feel like there was no progression with that storyline. And I guess it didn't get a ton of screen time in this one, maybe for that reason. It just felt like they needed to just do exactly the same arc as last week, last episode, just to give James Master some screen time, maybe. So it felt kind of odd to me, like the bulk of that. It's just like, yeah, that's exactly where you ended up last week. I just felt like there wasn't any progression there whatsoever. You could still have Spike around to like taunt Angel, because I always enjoyed that, and making comments about the Nina situation. You know, he still added some important stuff, I think, in terms of some of the themes and, you know, what the episode was exploring. But that side of things, with him still disappearing and what he was talking about last time, going back, you know, he's not liking where he's going, and he feels more and more drawn on like something's going to keep him there if he keeps going back long enough. I feel like, you know, Fred being like, "Well, I will help you with that then," at the end of this one. I was like, well, yeah, we knew that, surely. So I thought that felt a bit odd, but it didn't have that much screen time overall, so I guess it's fine. But it just felt a bit of a weird thing to give scenes to that whole thing that's going on with Spike, but nothing advanced from what we already knew last week. Last week, I keep saying last week, last episode. But still, it is what it is. It's still good stuff, because obviously it's Fred and Spike, who are two very good characters. But that felt kind of strange. But again, it doesn't really matter too much, because it didn't take too much away from the main plot of the episode that we focused on. And I really, really enjoyed. Cool to see a werewolf. Love me a good werewolf. Reminds me of the nicer times with Oz, although probably a nicer costume this time around. I think they very cleverly gave most of its screen time, you know, it was very dark and shadowy and you couldn't really get a good look at it, or if it was in like a light room, like that sequence at the end, you saw it very briefly, or it was a bit like just a flash of it and they didn't like focus on it too much, which is probably for the best. You know, sometimes things are just scary when you don't get a full look at them, and sometimes werewolf costumes haven't been the best, but it seemed like it was a bit different. It didn't seem as hairy, I guess, but yeah, I like how they kind of shot the werewolf and kind of brought it to life in this one. And it was nice to have a female werewolf that wasn't Veruca, quite frankly, because fuck Veruca. I'm still salty, I'm still bitter. But yeah, I actually really enjoyed Nina, and her being like the focal point of the episode was fun. Them just trying to help the helpless. You know, she, in that situation when she gets, you know, she becomes a werewolf, she's not going to know what's happening, what to do about it. She kind of is helpless because she doesn't know how to work through this and guide through it without people probably have getting hurt. So I like how it was kind of about saving the soul of this woman, I guess, in a way, help her control this initial period of turning into a werewolf, and then she can manage it later on as it happens again and again for the rest of her life and come to terms with that. I thought that was a really cool idea. And then we had the other twist on top of that when she got kidnapped and they were going to eat her alive. That weird like group cult of werewolf eating people, which was bizarre. So I enjoyed the twist that came with that as well. And it almost reminded me in a way of the Bachelor Party in season 1. Wasn't that like they were going to eat Doyle's brain or something? It felt kind of similar to that in a cool way. I liked that. In terms of a twist, it was cool that a lot of the focus near the start was setting up like, we can't trust everyone on the inside. They went for a picnic, but they like make sure they weren't bugged and stuff, because there's still some people who are working for them that want to bring them down, very much so, and they're against the idea of them being in charge. So I like that they're showing how cautious they're being with that, and trying to be more vigilant and, sleep with one eye open, I guess. And that does, I guess, sometimes cast suspicions on Gunn. I felt they were a bit unfair to Gunn in that situation, frankly. I understood him being a bit pissed off about that. I just, you can have those thoughts, I guess. I can understand why they might have thought like, well, we can't trust Wolfram and Hart. They put something in Gunn. They could have easily just lied to him and put something in there that he doesn't even know about. But there hasn't been any evidence to the contrary of that so far. I don't think there's anything really to be suspicious of, but I can understand them maybe thinking, he could be a sleeper agent with whatever they did to him, we don't know. But to make it so obvious that they're thinking that to his face, I just felt that was a bit harsh. And again, even later on, it was that scene with Angel and Lorne when Angel kind of snapped at Gunn a bit, and Angel's just going through some stuff, I guess. And then when Lorne walked past, he was like, oh god, someone's grumpy today. I was like, well, Gunn has every right to be grumpy. I felt weirdly protective of Gunn in this one. I just thought people were being a bit needlessly unfair on him. I understand their suspicions and their concerns and stuff, but maybe wait to actually have even the slightest bit of evidence of that first. But I like how they were kind of exploring with that, someone on the inside potentially being evil. Wesley, they were exploring maybe misplaced distrust as well, because Wesley being suspicious of Knox and stuff is mainly because he's jealous that Fred's spending a lot of time with him. And to be fair, I don't fully trust Knox either. I don't fully trust anyone that's not our main group of characters. I mean Wolfram and Hart, because Wolfram and Hart. So it could very well be the case that you can't really trust anyone. And in this episode, I made a point of it with that doctor guy ending up being like a member of the werewolf eating people. And everything with that. I thought that was a cool twist. That was very dark. The fact that, he got bitten and Angel was just like, well, you can eat him in a month now, can't you? And that was like the resolution. That was dark as hell. Like, that was really bleak. It almost felt a bit too harsh on their part, but he had betrayed them. And maybe he just wasn't a particularly nice man, even though he seemed it on the surface. We don't know how people can really be, But that was a bleak ending for that guy, in the fact that they were all just like, cool, you can eat him in a month. I guess he did betray them and stuff, but it still felt a bit like, whoa, that's damn. But yeah, I liked the twist of Nina getting kidnapped, and, well, Nina didn't like it, but the fact that they just did a huge switch with that, and the werewolf eating people. It's an interesting idea, I think, like some people behind the scenes just like eating werewolves and probably bits of demons and stuff. They consider them delicacies, and they go around all over the world probably searching those out and just having little dinner parties and everything. That's a neat idea. I actually thought that was quite cool, in terms of things we don't really see and explore in the world before. Because of course people are going to take advantage of things in that way. It makes sense. So I liked that they explored that. Could have been cool to maybe have a bit more of the episode dedicated to that portion, but also I liked what they were doing already with Nina and the girl. Like, I guess she was like, she said like get a new babysitter, so I guess she was just babysitting this little girl and his friends with the little girl's mum. maybe, and like lived with them, and that's why she called her Auntie Nina or something. I'm not quite sure, but either way, you know, I liked everything with her struggling to cope with being a werewolf now and feeling like she needs to cast out herself from those two to keep them safer and coming to terms with everything, and what the episode was kind of exploring with like the monster inside yourself, not letting that side of you win. You can still have a life outside of, you know, being a monster on the inside. I quite enjoyed that. We had that with Nina, obviously. Angel, he's passed as Angelus, the fact that he's a vampire, that demon inside of him, that he's very much, you know, kind of had to fight, particularly, you know, the Pioneer arc when we actually saw what that demon looked like for a bit, and he kind of unleashed that, not letting that side of him win, because he still can have a bit of a life. We saw at the end, you know, he invited everyone to kind of check out his place for the first time, and they just had Chinese and got on and talked about him and Nina having a thing, maybe. I felt like Nina might be a one-off episode like character, but it felt a bit weird that they would then dedicate the final scene of the episode to be like, oh, maybe there's a bit of a thing there. So I felt like we're going to see Nina again, maybe. And again, just the Cordelia erasure, I'm not about, you know, they couldn't even mention her by name in this, but I guess it's kind of to be expected, I guess, heading into this season, knowing how things went production-wise. So I've kind of prepared myself for that, unfortunately. Because they made a whole point about like, oh, Angel doesn't date really, you know, it gets complicated and stuff, and then again, I guess there's a connection there. It felt a bit like, oh, okay, fine. So I imagine the fact that they made a big deal of that, especially in the episode's final scene, we'll probably see Nina again. Maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. I wouldn't be against it though, because I liked Nina. I thought the actress did a great job as well. And yeah, it was just an interesting kind of story for the episode to go along with, so I enjoyed that. Yeah, the idea of the inside man that they played up with, the suspicions of Gunn, and then that doctor ultimately being the one, all this distrust of your own employees because some of them might want to bring you down, having someone on your side, and the fact that we had Angel who had kind of gotten to that point and he has people around him, he's kind of learned that he needs that team. He very much learned that lesson, I think, in season 2 as well, when he kind of separated himself for a bit, went down a bit of a darker path. He kind of learned his lesson from all that. You know, he needs a team around him. Buffy also had that. You know, one of the reasons I think she was the Slayer and survived for so long was because she had that group of people around her. You know, it's good to have that, that found family. And during the course of the episode, Nina kind of rediscovered that lesson herself, and did choose to reconnect with the little girl and her mum and everything. And she can still have a life and not let that monster win. I thought that was cool. And the guilt that comes alongside maybe having that monster side of you. I think a very interesting thing about having Spike in the show now is what him and Angel talked about in the last episode, and how Angel got quite annoyed that Spike seemed to get over being re-ensouled. You know, he had a much better time of it, an easier time of it than Angel did. It took him, you know, God knows how long to come to terms with that, and he's still kind of fighting that battle. And he said something like, well, Spike, you just moped in a basement for a couple of months and then you were fine or something, and that really pissed him off. You know, that I think is a really interesting idea to play with, and I like that they continued on with that in this one, and Spike was kind of saying, you know, she's a killer and that's going to hurt her even more now that she has a soul and everything. Spike made a big point of that because he knows from experience what it feels like to get his soul back, and that's probably where Angel was empathising with Nina so much and was so desperate to save her. So I like how they're kind of still linking one of the most interesting aspects of having Spike and Angel around each other again, storyline wise and thematic wise. Is that a saying? It is now. I like that they are still exploring that in this episode as well, even though it's not like Angel-centric one or Spike-centric one or anything. So that's cool. I like that they're still doing that. And yeah, just learning to live with who you are. I like that we've had Angel go on that journey since basically we met him. He's kind of had to live with who he is. He had to live with who he used to be as well. Multiple times he's kind of had to come to terms and deal with that and face that head on. So I liked everything with all of that, and just some cool themes running throughout the episode there. And a little shout out to Lorne as well. I'm still hoping for a Lorne-centric one at some point, but I did like the scene where he was kind of talking to Angel about, you know, all the friends around him, all of that stuff. I do enjoy it, you know, as fun and extravagant as Lorne can be, and he can be very funny, you know, when he's like singing high pitched to defeat enemies and stuff. Hilarious, I love it. But I also really enjoy when they make Lorne just sit down and have a very serious conversation with Angel. So I feel like Lorne, by his very nature, you know, like reading into his soul and stuff, you know, well, maybe not his soul, but, you know, when he hears him sing and everything that he can gather from that, I think he does understand Angel really, really well. And I feel like Angel really, really respects Lorne as well. And maybe he finds it easy to open up to someone like Lorne because Lorne very much looks like a demon. And, you know, I think that's an easy reminder and a comfort for Angel to talk to someone about these things, because he can really see that Lorne has to go through that because he's green with red horns, as opposed to like being open and honest with someone like Fred or Wesley or Gunn, because, you know, they still very much look like humans to him. They may not have gone through those same experiences that he's had to deal with and stuff. So I like it when Angel and Lorne just sit down and have an honest chat, and Lorne kind of whips Angel into shape a bit, I guess, about things. So I enjoyed the scene with those two together as well. And yeah, they just had a lot kind of to explore in this one. And yeah, the focus on Nina and the werewolf, everything with that was a pretty cool story. I liked the twist with the end as well. The werewolf eating people, as they will henceforth be known. It's all very well done. And yeah, I liked that quite a bit. You know, the only thing that I thought was a bit weird was the screen time given to Spike fading and stuff, and then it being nothing in the end, really, because they just didn't advance it. And they even could have just had, like, Spike had overheard something from that weird doctor guy, and he did purposefully lead Fred into his office so she could find that thing. So I was like, oh, that's quite cool that he's done that. You know, it shows that he wants to help and he's willing to kind of earn his place back in the world, maybe, if Fred can help him out. But then it was just, oh, that was an accident, wasn't it? Yeah. So, oh, okay. So it was just, well, how about that? Fred happened to knock into a bin and then realised that this doctor guy is a bit dodgy. So that felt strange. But outside of that, you know, everything else I really enjoyed what the episode had, plotline-wise, with Nina, and the twists and turns that came with that. Some cool character moments as well, like with the Angel and Lorne conversation, the themes of, you know, accepting who you are, not letting the monster side of you win, having people on your side, the guilt that comes from maybe being a monster as well and killing people because of that side of you. That was all really well done. I really enjoyed that. And even just that last scene, you know, kind of proving the point that you can be a monster or label yourself a monster as well, but there's still a normal life for you out there. You can still have that, maybe not all the time, granted, but, you know, being a monster doesn't mean your life has to be monstrous, you know? So that's a nice message, I suppose. I mean, I can't particularly relate to it because I'm not a vampire or werewolf, or ghost or a demon as far as I'm aware. Maybe I am, I don't know. Maybe we all are. Who knows? Maybe, you know, if there are aliens out there, maybe they see humans as demons, so maybe in a way we are demons, I don't know. I'm talking shit, so I'm going to leave it there. But overall, I really enjoyed this episode. I like the kind of simple focus on the Nina story arc and where that went. I thought that was cool. The themes that were kind of being explored through it was great. Some great character moments like Angel and Lorne. Even some of the stuff with Gunn and like people maybe suspecting him a bit. I'm sure that's going to be a story that they continue to explore more so. And Gunn being salty by them thinking, oh, could you actually be on Wolfman Hart's side now because of what they put in your head? I thought that's an interesting concept that hopefully we'll get a bit more exploration. And yeah, I'm just excited to see where else we go next. Hopefully we get more advancement with the Spike thing in the next few episodes, as opposed to just going back and forth on, yes, we know Fred's helping him out, and let's actually advance that, please. Because I can only imagine like the physical slapstick comedy we could get if Angel and Spike can actually interact with each other physically. I think that could be brilliant, because we're already getting some good stuff Even in this episode when Angel's like, you know that disappearing thing you do, I like that. There's some good stuff there, and I'm hoping we get even more of that at some point. So yeah, really good episode overall, and I look forward to seeing what they have in store for us next. But yeah, until my next reaction, thanks for watching.